Welcome back to the Root Barn Podcast, y'all. We're going to go through some vids. You ready to see some interesting vids and have some comments on, bud? Because I found some that are interesting that I thought we should comment on.
I am excited.
You ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it. Let's check this out. So here's a video. Somebody's finally saying it. And the reason I'm playing this one is because there's the next video we're going to do after this one that kind of goes along with it. And it's a complete dichotomy of what you're seeing right now. So let's check this out.
Check it out.
I'll confess something to y'all. Clinton was a lawyer in Arkansas. Grew up poor, relatively broke. How the hell him and the Clinton Foundation is worth hundreds of millions of dollars beats me. Barack Obama was a community organizer who became the president of the United States. And last time I checked, that salary ain't over $450,000, if I remember correctly. I got to double check that.
Probably more like 400 when he was in office.
How the hell you depart from office? You work over $200 million? It's amazing to me how these politicians go into office and you're sworn to serve the American people. It's called service, but somehow, some way, they always depart exponentially richer than when they arrived.
All of them, not just one side.
And how no matter how hard we try, we can't get rid of lobbyists on Capitol Hill because the lobbyists are the ones funneling money into their pockets. We were born at night, not last night. We know what the hell is going on. But having said all of that, it is what it is.
Very profound there at the end, Stephen A.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. The lead into that, it's people complaining that Trump is making so much money as the president, when in actuality, I mean, he actually lost value as his net worth after he came to office the first time. Is he benefiting now? I don't know. I've heard yes and no on both sides, and maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But this seems to be an issue when you have the AOCs of the world and the Nancy Pelosi's and the Chuck Schumers of the world all making, $175,000 salaries or so, give or take who you are. And then all of a sudden you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And same way with like the Clintons and the Obamas also. Mm-hmm. How many houses do the Obamas have? One on Martha's Vineyard, because they're worried about climate change and the rising seas, yet they bought a house that's a foot above sea level, by the way.
Above sea level.
I mean,
Smart.
Come on. It's asinine. And so finally we're getting somebody like a Stephen A coming in there and just saying, hey, what is going on? Why are all of the politicians, Democrat, Republican, Independent, doesn't matter, coming in with a nominal salary? Personally, I think it's still way too high by, I don't know, at least $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to serve your country, you get a salary of, I don't know, $50,000, $70,000. And I'm being generous with 70.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the opinion that it shouldn't even be a paid position.
Yeah,
but
let's see how it goes when you're not making money.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. But I get it. You know what I mean? You don't want to, take out of people's pockets that that came to serve. And they
have to live too.
They had regular jobs. Yeah, they have to live too. You still have to pay your bills. You still have to, you have to do this. But I mean, let's kick it way down. Let's kick it to under 100. You know what I mean? And really kind of see who wants to be there.
Right. Exactly.
For the right reasons.
Is doing this to benefit the people, not themselves and their constituents and their lobbyists and their donors and their everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue. So I think it's right. I'm glad to see somebody like a Stephen A. Smith, who I vacillate back and forth on whether I like his positions on things. And I think he comes around on a lot of things like this, for example.
Yeah, but I'm glad that a voice like his is at least figuring it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or
like he and Bill Maher,
mm-hmm.
Joe Rogan, and people like that who are figuring it out. Because none of these guys are conservative. They're still all libs.
Right.
But they get it. They understand how things are supposed to be,
mm-hmm.
or should be. Yeah. So I agree. I apologize for breaking in on your comment there, but
no, but it's true, and I'm glad that the people in these positions that have the I guess stage to to be able to say these kind of things and have a good majority of the people who might also be confused listening to them
And say, oh, hey, well, he gets
really,
it. Yeah.
to start taking some of this stuff into consideration.
Yeah. Or he's actually saying what I've been kind of wondering or thinking is like, am I thinking,
am I on the right
am I
track?
reading this correctly? Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can validate a lot of those points. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see, because let me ask you a quick question, because then we're going to go into the flip side of Stephen A. Smith here in a second. So a buddy of mine came up to me at the gym, and he just said, hey, I've got this board of directors, and we've got 3 black guys on the board of directors. And he just said, man, because do I have 3 black guys on my board of directors that now I think the board is going to do worse off and not make good decisions anymore and all of that. And then he goes, is that racist? and I was sitting there for a second going, what is he baiting me into right now?
Right.
And I'm like, well, on the surface, yeah, it does sound a little racist.
Sounds a little racist. Yeah.
I mean, I'm no scholar in this particular subject, but I can probably tell when somebody's being a little racist about that. And that certainly does sound racist. He goes, oh, okay. I was just wondering. Okay. Cause that did kind of sound a little racist to me. And I'm like, yeah, it did, and he was joking. I mean, he was making a point. And this is the point he was making, because if you look at this, tell me if you think it's okay, now that we're going to flip that coin to the other side, if it's okay to do it this way.
Where the hell the Los Angeles Lakers think they going with a bunch of white dudes? Your 3 top players are white dudes? Really? This ain't golf. This ain't baseball. Hell, it ain't even soccer. What y'all think this is? It's basketball. In NBA history, when have you seen your 3 most prominent players on a basketball team all be white? And that takes you to the promised land. Somebody got to say it, so I'm saying it. This is
Larry Bird, Robert, what's his name? Kevin McHale. There was another person other than Danny Ainge, but there were 3 fairly prominent white guys on the Boston Celtics teams that won several.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, to answer his question, but let's move on.
This is basketball. I'm not complaining. I'm simply making the point. The Los Angeles Lakers, you ain't going anywhere being led by 3 white dudes in today's generation of basketball. I'm letting you know right now, it ain't happening. And Luka's a bad brother. And Austin Reeves is no scrub. And they both have earned what they have earned. And then with LeBron James or some other brothers, I get. But those 2 and Walker Kessler, you ain't scaring anybody with that. And Rob Pelinka has done made this white dude central. No wonder LeBron James walked out the door.
Give me your thoughts on that. Does that sound racist?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, damn freaking straight it does.
And that's kind of...
But it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I don't... How do I put this? It's what I don't like about just racism in general. I mean, now you can I have a really good time pointing out cultural differences with people. I don't think it doesn't make me feel racist. I have admittedly, have had racist thoughts go through my head at a time or two, but about everybody, about Mexicans, blacks, whites, Asians, you know what I mean? About everybody. Yeah. So it covers the board there. But what makes me upset about it is just stuff like this, where it can be blatant in your face and nobody gets to say anything about it. We all have to be quiet about it because then if we point out their racism, that makes us racist, apparently.
Well, of course. And
that makes no sense.
Well, that was my buddy's whole point. When he came up to me, he was just like that. I got 3 black guys on my board or some board, and now it's going to go to shit because of the 3 black guys. Is that not the same freaking thing, but the flip side of the coin that
think,
this was with the Lakers?
Yeah, I think so.
But it's okay for Stephen A to say it because he's a black guy saying the white guys. But if we're white people saying it about the black, that you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it shouldn't matter whether there are three. Do they do the job? Can they get the job done? What's their merit?
And there's another statement too that I always hear coming out of that camp is that black people can't be racist.
Oh no, of course not.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? They are some of the most racist people I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's from speaking to people that I know.
Have you ever met a Japanese guy and talked to him about a Korean? Have you ever met a Japanese guy or a Chinese guy and talked about the Japanese guy or the other? Have you ever met other Asian, I should say Oriental, because Russia is in Asia and they're also Asians. So I say, and I like the Oriental. Oriental is a very beautiful term as far as I'm concerned. How it got derogatory, I have no idea, but whatever.
Either. I don't know.
But in college, I was in a band and our guitarist was a Filipino.
Mm-hmm.
And we played a gig, and there are of course, lots of types of people. And he was starting to point out, oh, yeah, there's some Korean kids over there, and they're looking at me like he's the freaking pariah, like he's a parasite or whatever.
Oh,
and
wow.
I didn't realize how much of a cultural, racial hatred there is between Japanese and Koreans and to the Filipinos, to the Chinese, to the Thais, to, all of these. And it just, and it really opened my eyes. And here I am, 18 years old, didn't really see a lot of that, or didn't recognize it until it was right there. And it just has made black people can be much or more so racist than anybody else. But I'll tell you, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Philippine, everybody else, they're just as bad. The Indians from India are pretty bad. Every race out there has it. You got your rednecks, white guys who are as racist as anything. I think for the most part, most people aren't this way. But for Stephen A to perpetuate this point, and to say that blatantly, once Walker Kessler was traded from the Jazz to the Lakers, and now they got the three-headed white monster, and to blatantly say something as racist as how can three white guys do anything at all in the NBA? I mean, it's like, oh, Stephen, is that okay for you to say? But if I were to say that about anything else, that example of the board members being black, that all of a sudden I'm the bad guy, but you're okay to say that.
That's it's the double standard that exists that drives me absolutely up the wall.
Ape shit bonkers is what it does. I mean, because you're just like, but you're the biggest fucking racist out there saying shit like that.
Exactly.
You filthy, stinking, dirty ape. Just quoting him. That's all I'm doing. I mean, but you see what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the hypocrisy is unbelievable. And, I think that, you and I are probably, probably the most accepting people of anybody else. And I have good friends everywhere who are everything.
Right.
I got my token black friend. I got my, shut up. We all have, if you live anywhere where there's, a diversity of skin color, of whoever,
melting pot.
If they're good people, they're good people. If they're pieces of trash, they're pieces of trash.
Right, exactly. And that and skin color doesn't
make you better or worse.
Doesn't make you better or worse. Some of the worst people that I've known have been white people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the worst people have been Mexicans. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, you're right. If you're a good person, you're a good person, no matter your skin color. That doesn't change things.
We've got to stop perpetuating this type of statement, especially on a platform like ESPN or whatever his other podcast station, whatever that show is that he's doing. There was no reason
right
for that.
Right.
Just like there would be no reason for me to say 3 black guys on the board of directors are going to ruin it. There would be no reason for it. If they did it, great, awesome. Then they made the board profitable and shareholders were making their money. Great. I don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, Chinese, whatever.
Well,
Did you make a profit? Did you do great? Awesome.
Well, that was the thing too. It's like, I think that, I mean, not knowing this company or whatever, they might have the DEI thing installed. I don't know.
Well, it was a made up company. He was just making a point.
But generally, okay. Well, generally, boards, you have to be voted onto the board, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing. So if they've made it there on their own merit, then obviously
Awesome.
they're good at something,
Right.
right? And same with these 3 white, NBA players. They've made it there on their own merit.
Yeah.
They're good enough to to do that. Like I like you said, there's just no reason to bring up that point.
Why are we stirring a pot for no apparent reason?
No reason. Yeah.
Is there a reason he did that? Is there a reason he was saying that? I mean, what's the end goal that he wanted? What's the outcome he wanted from saying that?
Yeah, I would like to know that. Like, what's your point here?
Yeah, I mean,
is your point just that you don't think that selfish, hurtful, and irresponsible statement is now out there for people to ponder, but with no legitimacy, right?
Right.
There's no legitimacy. There's no data to back that up.
Exactly.
Now, okay, if they start losing,
are you going to say, "See, I told you so"?
Yeah, that's
3 white guys are horrible for the NBA.
So so this is just a wild prediction that has no basis in fact, and that's what we're going with. Like, Probably. Are you serious?
Well, here's my question. You always bring up the racism. You always bring up the fact that we need to end racism. No more hate and blah blah blah. They put it on the freaking end court in basketball. They put it on their helmets in football. They put end racism, end the hate, blah blah blah. But you keep perpetuating it. How are you going to end it when you keep jabbing, poking the bear, and saying stupid shit like that?
Yeah. Well,
how do you end it when you keep doing it? It's unbelievable.
Well, it's hard to keep respect for people like that. You know what I mean? Because
I've lost a lot of respect. And he was coming around, and all of a sudden now, oh shit, you would back down a few notches.
Yeah, exactly. It was like that was terrible to say, but people, people are looking like the people who believe that, or take him for his word is God or whatever, then now that's what they're going to start thinking. That's what they're going to start telling their friends. And that's how this whole thing builds. And it's like, you're right. Like, how are we going to end it if you keep putting out stuff like this and you keep rolling that snowball?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no reason for it,
What is it you wanted to get out of that statement? Did you want the Lakers to cancel the contracts and go trade for somebody else who happens to be black?
Well,
is that what you wanted?
Then he brings up LeBron.
Yeah.
I'm my God. Sorry, but LeBron is the floppiest.
He's the biggest jackass out there.
That I have
Good
ever
player,
seen.
But he's a jackass.
He's a flop monster. Way too drama queen. It's hard for me to even watch him. You know what I mean?
I know.
It's hard. Yeah. Yes, talent, unbelievable talent. And, and if he would just stick to that, great player. One of the best in the NBA. But because he's such an actor, it's just terrible. Yeah. I can't watch. I can't even watch the NBA period right now.
It's hard.
Over the last 5 years, dude. Just because of just how ridiculous it's gotten with the acting and the drama
queens on the court.
And it's just ugly.
Yeah, but yeah, if we're going to try to end the problem that everybody complains about, especially the blacks are complaining a lot, and then of course liberal white women complaining about being racist and blah blah blah. Well, then let's stop perpetuating this bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
and let's get past the skin color and just look at, hey, they look at the team the Lakers are building. Oh, and they just happen to have 3 incredible white players, or at least, a couple of them or whatever. There's arguments whether Walker is going to be great or not, but he's a pretty good player. He's a pretty good player,
Oh, he made
but
it to the NBA. He's
yeah,
good
you
enough for
got
that.
you got Luka and you got Austin Reeves and whatever, and it's just like, can we just appreciate the fact that you have a team? It doesn't matter, and we always, and it's not it seems to be those on the left, on the Democrat side more so, it seems to be that always have to point out race and always have to point out the differences, the diverse. Oh, the first black woman on the Supreme Court, or the first black this, that, or president, the first black this, that, or the other, and the first Asian this, that, or the first Indian American, Kamala, or what. I mean, it's like, how about, oh my God, can we stop?
How about just say it's a successful human being. Let's just leave it at that. And a lot of the times too, these people that make these achievements are not looking for that racial pat on the back.
I don't
They
want to
don't give
be
a
great
shit.
because of my skin color. I want to be great because of what I can do.
And how hard I worked and what I did to get here. Let's talk about that.
That would be great, dude.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Maybe we can do that. Anyway, give us your thoughts below. Tell us what you think. What do you think about the analogy we put together, and then the Stephen A. Smith's? And is there a hypocrisy going on? Is there a perpetuation of the race
Racial divide
narrative?
Yeah.
I mean, why? Let me know what you think. Why do you think Stephen A. said that? What was his point? What was he trying to get out of it? Because flip it around the other way, and a white guy were to say that about 3 black guys on whatever, on a hockey team.
Yeah.
If we're going to keep a sports analogy going.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, NHL team, come on. Let us know your thoughts down below, and let us know what you think about that. And are we up in the night? Are we looking at something, making something out of something? I don't think we are. But let us know what you think. Appreciate it, Al.